Senate Republicans heading for a debate and vote on the Save America Act, the voter ID bill backed by President Trump. He made his case on Brian Kilmeade's radio show this morning. Listen here.
Think of it. Every place you go, you give identification.
Yeah.
And I want picture identification, not just, we want picture so that when they go in to vote, somebody standing there can say, oh, that is the same person, not that it's a totally different person.
Michael LaRosa served as the chief spokesperson to First Lady Jill Biden and special assistant to President Biden. And Kaylee McGhee White is a Steamboat Institute fellow and a Fox News contributor. So the SAVE Act going to a vote next week. Here's what J.D. Vance said yesterday. This is very simple. Only American citizens should be allowed to vote in American elections. The Save America Act is common sense, and we need to pass it now. Give us the need for it, Kaylee.
Well, it is common sense. It's overwhelmingly supported by the American public. So there's really no reason why Senate Republicans should not be able to get this across the finish line. There's a lot of debate over whether they enforce the talking filibuster in order to make that happen. And I say that is also a no-brainer. Of course, you should put Democrats on the record, force them to be up there for hours and hours and hours, proving to the American public why they don't think our elections should be secure. And look, I think that the message to Senate Republicans here is that if you are not willing to take action on an overwhelmingly popular issue that has basically zero political downsides whatsoever, then what are you actually doing? Are you actually representing the Republican voters' interests that you claim to represent? Because I don't think so if they're not willing to get this done.
So here's what Senator Alex Padilla, Democrat, said about it. Listen here.
This is not a voter ID bill. This is a voter suppression, a voter purge bill if you look into it. If you require a passport to be able to go register or to be able to go vote, you're going to have the effect of eligible people not being able to vote.
So, Michael, to you, what's the problem with proving that you're a U.S. citizen when you go to register to vote? And it's not just a passport. A birth certificate's fine.
Yeah, there's no disagreement from Democrats on whether non-citizens should be voting. Nobody believes that they should be voting. In fact, that's why it's illegal. And that's why 36 states already have voter ID laws. And Democrats believe in voter ID, but I don't think Democrats believe in the SAVE Act, or that the SAVE Act is a voter ID bill, because it creates more problems than it solves.
What problem does it create?
Well, first of all, I don't know if Republicans want to make the bet that more Republican voters have passports and birth certificates than Democrats. Is that a bet they want to wager? To me, I'm kind of like over the debate. Go ahead and make our day.
That's not a problem.
I'm willing to make that bet.
I am too, actually. If we're going to make voting harder by requiring more documentation than a driver's license and a government ID, let's go.
I don't think it's about making voting harder, though. I think it's about making sure that voting is being done in a legal way. And so let me ask you this. Is there a version of the Save America Act that Democrats would actually get on board and vote for?
The current laws that are on the books, it's states and federal crimes. It's illegal to vote if you're a non-citizen.
Why not federalize voter ID requirements?
There already is a federal law that you cannot vote if you are a non-citizen.
Right, but what about voter ID? I mean,
why not add the
voter ID is great. Voter ID is great. We have it in 36 states.
So when you register, and you typically only register to vote once, unless you change your name, I guess, if you get married, it's not like you got to bring your passport to the voting booth every 2 years,
right?
So what's wrong with bringing it once?
I think it's
I've told this story before too. When I became a citizen up in New Jersey a week after 9/11, from the citizenship ceremony, we went to the room next door where all of the parties had registered to vote, and they said, "Show us your certificate. Okay, now you can register to vote." What's wrong with that?
We already have that requirement. We already have a requirement to show an ID when you go to vote, at least in 37 states, I believe.
But what about citizenship?
None of those states are currently run by Democrats. This is the problem, is we're assuming here that Democratic states are going to do the right thing and prevent non-citizens from voting.
But there's no evidence that there are non-citizens voting as it is.
There have been several cases,
None that have
actually
ever changed the outcome of an election. And like you guys can't prove that they have.
Okay, but you're admitting that it has happened. Whether it has actually changed the outcome of the election is irrelevant.
It happened just
illegal.
the other day. Somebody was using fake ID to an illegal alien was using fake ID to vote.
Most of the time, these votes, this is caught. Votes are not counted.
Wow.
And look, hey,
this person lived under assumed stolen identities for years.
Republicans have control of government. Go for it.
Well, they can't because of that little thing.
Filibuster.
They can't because of the little thing called the filibuster.
First of all, we don't have to eliminate the filibuster. We just have to enforce the talking filibuster.
John Cornyn thinks that it should. Said, I believe Democrats, with their votes and statements, have already dealt the filibuster a fatal blow. The Senate rules will change eventually, whether Republicans like it or not. This leaves conservatives with two options. We can either unilaterally disarm or we can stand and fight. He used to support the filibuster rule. Now he's saying nuke it.
Well, he just spent $65 million trying to win 1% over his opponent. So if I were John Cornyn, I would tell him it's probably not going to be enough to save him and keep him in Washington.
Well, and I think that Cornyn's team is being fed a bit of misinformation, largely from either Democrats or from the legacy media here. You don't have to abolish the filibuster in order to pass the Save America Act. You have to just enforce the talking filibuster, which means Democrats are going to have to exhaust themselves arguing against this bill. And once that has happened, you move to a simple majority vote.
Right. Or recipes.
Well, that was a great discussion. I'm ready for a beer. How about you?
Let's go.
Okay. Sandra.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.